All right. So I think we can start now. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our NTW Learning Hour session. I'm Adib, and I'm delighted to be your host for today's session. We are honored to have our expert trainer, Miss Adila, who will be sharing valuable insight on AI-powered forecasting and automation in Excel, smarter decisions with minimal effort. All right, wait a minute. Alright, during the session, please feel free to ask questions in the chat box below. Miss Adila will address all questions at the end of the session. As a reminder, please keep your microphones muted throughout the session to avoid any disruptions. Without further ado, I hand over the floor to Miss Adila.
All right. Thank you so much, Adib. So, Assalamualaikum and good morning to everyone that is present today. So, firstly, I would like to welcome everybody to our lunch and learn session, our webinar session. So, the topic for today would be AI-powered forecasting and automation in Excel, right? Smarter decision with minimal effort. So, today we will be using Excel, right? We are going to look into the AI portion in Microsoft Excel itself, whereby we'll be covering two main topics, which are analyze data, right? There's a button over there that I would like to introduce to you that could be very helpful in analyzing your data. And of course, number two, right? We are going to use ChatGPT in Excel. So I know ChatGPT is available out there. Some of you may have used it to, do some research, right? To make some suggestion. You would ask them about which places you should visit when you go for your traveling. But this time we're going to bring ChatGPT into your Excel workbook itself. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to look into two portions for today. Now, before we go further, right, let me just introduce myself a little bit. So my name is Adila Diyana, right? You can just address me as Adila. As mentioned earlier by Mr. Adib, if you have any question, our main medium of communication will be via the chat box, all right? So I will be looking at the chat box at the end of the session to address any questions that you have. And don't worry if, let's say, you would like to re-look back, right? So you would like to come back and listen to this particular webinar session. The team, Excel Academy, will be posting this particular session in their YouTube channel as well, right? So you always have your point of reference over there. So just to continue, I am a certified Microsoft trainer as well as a certified Azure Corp trainer. Actually, my background is in accounting and finance, as you can see from the screen over here. I work as an auditor, as an accountant, and as well as a business analyst before. So I've dealt with a lot of data. So today I would just like to share some tips and tricks on what you can use in Excel, hopefully to help you be more productive, right? And also just to give you a different insight on how you can approach Excel by using artificial intelligence. Okay, all right. So let me take down the slide first. Okay. So firstly, I would just like to open a blank Excel workbook, right? So this is very important. So here I would like just to share some important keywords before we start, right? Some Excel 101. So this would help you to navigate your Excel better, yeah? So we have the first one is tab. The second word is ribbon. Number three is column. Number four is row. And of course, number five is cell. So let's spend about 1 or 2 minutes just to go through this. So for the word tab itself, let me hide first. Okay. So for the word tab, where can you find tab is, let's say when you open a blank Excel workbook, right? And then at the top part here, you can see there's the word file, home, insert, and so on. So the main title at the top of your Excel, that is what we refer to as tab, right? So if for an example, I told you, let's go to insert tab. So you know exactly where to press, right? So you won't take time to find where is the button and so on. So it will help you to navigate Excel better. Number two, we have the word ribbon. So for an example, I go to my insert tab. Inside my insert tab, we have like the subtopic. If you notice down there, we have here for
Adila,
yes.
are you sharing the Excel at the moment?
Yes,
Because
correct.
we still see your PowerPoint.
Oh, PowerPoint, yeah. Okay, thank you, Adib. Let me just double check on that. Okay. All right. Can everybody see my Excel at the moment?
Okay.
Okay, sure. All right. Okay, sorry about that. So over here, let's just continue. So as I mentioned earlier here, I'm opening a blank Excel workbook, right? So I would like to introduce 5 important keywords with all of you so that we can navigate Excel better. So for number 1, we have what we call as tab. So if you open your blank Excel workbook, at the top part here, you can see there's like a main topic up there. For an example, we can see file, home, insert, and so on. So these buttons, right, the main topics up there, we refer them as tab, TAB, right? So if for an example, I told you, let's go to insert tab, you know exactly where to press. And then for number 2, right, let's look at the word ribbon. So for the word ribbon over here, all right, when you open any of the blank Excel workbook, let me just hide the floating panels for a while, right? So if you, let's say, go to the insert tab, you can see there's like a subtopic within the tab. For an example, tables, illustrations, charts, right? So this is what we refer to as ribbon. So if, let's say, I told you, let's go to home tab, right? Let's go to add-ins ribbon. So you know exactly where you can go to, okay? And then, of course, number 3, we have columns. The one that is vertical, this is column B, this is column C. And then you would also have your rows, which is horizontal. This is row number 2, and this is row number 3. As for cell, right, example, I'm highlighting 4 cells over here. This is what we refer to as cell C2, right? We read the column first and then the rows. So this is cell C2 until cell D3. All right, so these are some of the important keywords that we'll be using throughout the session. Okay, all right. Now, before we start, remember I told you we're going to cover 2 things, right? We're going to cover what we call as the analyze data button. And number 2, we have what we call as ChatGPT in Excel. Okay, so just to inform all of you, right? For analyze data button, this is only available for license Microsoft 365. For ChatGPT in Excel, it's available for license 2016 onwards, right? So 2016 onwards, meaning 2016, 2019, 2021, 365. So the latest license is 365. So prior to that, we have the 2021 license, 2019, and also 2016. So for those who have 365, you can go through both analyze data button and ChatGPT in Excel. But for those who are using slightly older version of Excel, you would only be able to see your ChatGPT in Excel. So what we're going to do now is we're going to check what license you are currently using in your Excel. So to check your license, let me guide you through. How you can check your license is, firstly, you need to go to your left part top over there. You need to press on File tab. So when you press on your File tab, I want you to go all the way to the bottom, right? You can see the word account. So if you are using a slightly older version, you may not see the word account. You may need to press on more, and then you can see the word account. So every single license have different interface as well, okay? So here, make sure you arrive to your account. And here, if you can see, I am using Microsoft 365. So I'm using the latest license. So you can also check your license as well. Maybe before this, you dah biasa guna, you are used to using your Excel, but you never really know, right, what version of Excel you are using. So now you have learned how to check your license per se, okay, right? So for those who are using 365, right, let me show you how we can use the analyze data button, right? But first, where can you find your analyze data button? So for Microsoft 365, this is already readily available for you. You can actually find your analyze button inside your home tab. And if you go all the way to the right side, right? So it's just beside your add-ins ribbon. You can see there's one single button here showing as analyze data. So analyze data is a built-in AI function inside your Excel. It's not related to any external party, not ChatGPT, not Gemini, not Julius, not others. It's readily available inside your Excel. So what analyze data does is, let's say you have a set of data, right? So you want to analyze your data. Sometimes you are not sure what pivot table to create, what charts to create. Analyze data will help to provide some suggestion for you. Sometimes when you're at the start of analyzing your data, you don't really have a full idea on what you want, right? So analyze data button will help you to give some ideas, right? So they would recommend some pivot tables, some charts that you may use inside your data. So over here, I have a set of data with me, right? I'm opening a different worksheet over here. So this is what we have data about cookie, right? So we have some country, product, unit sold, revenue, cost, profit, and also date. So my data here is from cell A1 until G701. So this is one of my habit. Whenever I got any data, first things first, I'm going to make sure I am familiarized with the data. I know how many rows, how many columns are there, right? And then I want to familiarize myself with the labeling, right? So I know for country here, we have the company is operating in 5 countries, India, Malaysia, Philippines, UK, US. I can see the products here, right? They have 6 different products, chocolate chip, fortune cookie, up to white chocolate macadamia nut. I have the number of units sold, the revenue they receive, the cost, the profit, and also the date itself. So before we use the analyze data button, right? I saw a lot of people, they have this habit whereby before they created any charts or before they created any pivot table, they tend to highlight all like this, right? So they would put their cursor anywhere inside their data and they will press on Control A just to highlight everything, right? So what I'm trying to say is this is not wrong, okay? But just would like to let you know that Excel is actually smart, right? So it is already sufficient if you only put your cursor anywhere inside the data, as long as it's between cell A1 to G701. So you don't have to necessarily highlight the whole thing because they would know the data is up to which point, right? So they would know where to take your data and so on. So here, I'll just put my cursor anywhere inside my data. And then I'm going to go to my home tab, right? On the right side, remember we discussed, we have here add-ins ribbon. Just a reminder, this is only available for license 365. Later, we'll go into ChatGPT. Now, when we click on add-ins, okay, when we click on analyze data, right? So on the right side here, there are some suggested question, right? You can also see, you can discover some insight. So when I got this data, the only instruction that I receive is from my boss, right? From my manager, from my superior, he or she may say, Adila, I want you to analyze the data, right? Highlight what are some of the main points to me, right? I'll give you maybe a few hours for you to analyze. So I can just apply the analyze data button here. So what they provide to me is, right, first they have profit by product and also date. So this is an example of pivot table. If you wish to want to have this particular analysis in your data, you can just click on insert pivot table, right? And then second, we have a beautiful pivot chart here in the form of bar chart. So bar chart dia horizontal ya, dia melintang. So this bar chart is showing the cost by product. So we can know for chocolate chip has the highest cost, right? Followed by white chocolate. Finally, the least cost is required for fortune cookies. And then another example here is you can see the unit sold not only by date, but also by country in the form of line graph. So they provide you several options, right? So you can just go through under the analyze data. You can see which one suits what you want, right? So maybe your boss asks you to focus more on unit sold, or maybe he asks you to focus more on revenue, or maybe cost, or maybe profit. So you can see accordingly here, right? So they also have this example of pivot chart for product, right? They notice, particularly for chocolate chip, has noticeably higher profit. So meaning chocolate chip is people's favorite, right? The crowd's favorite. So most of the profit is coming from chocolate chip. So here we realize that they've already highlight, right, some of the important points that we may use in our analysis later. So you can see show all 19 results. That's a lot, right? And if I go all the way back up here, you can also ask a question about your data, all right? So for an example, we want to know how many different countries are there, right? So here they automatically help us to insert a distinct count for country, right? So distinct count is whereby they will calculate your data distinctively. So if you remember, your data is from from row number 1 to row 701, right? So there's 700 rows of data. If we keep it at count of country, not distinct count, then the answer here would be 700 because Excel will see there are 700 rows with country. But when we look into distinct count, right, they will eliminate any duplicates, right? So for an example, even though Malaysia appear 200 times inside the data, Excel will only calculate them as one, right? So that is what it means by distinct count. So when we want to answer the question of how many different countries are there, distinct count would be perfect, right? So usually we can perform distinct count inside your pivot table, right? But today we are focusing more on AI. So we'd just like to let you know about distinct count for a little bit. Right, so let's go through some other. So here, we want to sort country by total revenue in ascending order. So we want to know for each of the country, number one, how much is their total revenue, right? How much sales that the country managed to make in ascending order. So descending is when you got from highest to lowest, right? It goes down. Ascending meaning menaik lah. So from low to high. So if I put here sort country by total revenue in ascending order, right? So if you can see here, Malaysia, right? Philippines, US, UK, and India. So when it comes to revenue, the highest one would be India, right? And this revenue by country is shown in a bar chart. So if you want, you can also proceed to click on insert pivot chart. So when you insert over here, you can see they have already helped to insert. So here, you're not only receiving one, but two. So because this is a pivot chart, so of course, the name pivot chart, right? The chart must comes from a pivot table. So that's why when you click insert pivot chart, it gives you both, right? It gives you the pivot table as well as the pivot chart, right? In the form of bar chart. So this is what is available inside your analyzed data. So some of the advantages is first, it's already readily available inside your Excel. So you don't need to upload your data into external. You don't need to open your browser, right? Your Google Chrome, your Mozilla Firefox. You attach Excel, then you ask question to AI. Please help me to analyze, right? You don't need to do all that. It's already readily available inside your Excel. However, one of the downside is it's a relatively new function, give new features in Excel that is available. Therefore, currently, it's only available for license 365. So those who are not using 365, you won't be able to have your analyze data button. Okay, so this is all about analyze data. So I hope you can see what Excel can offer, right? Maybe before this, you go near 365, you never noticed the analyze data button under your home tab, right? Sitting right there quietly on the right side. But I hope after watching this, you know you can do more with your Excel. Okay. But before that, let me see the chat. Okay, so far good, nothing there. Right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to continue with ChatGPT in Excel. So I'm going to open this file called AI in Excel. Okay, so for those who are using 2016 to 365, as I told you earlier, ChatGPT in Excel is available from license 2016. Right, number one, when you open your Excel, okay, it depends on your Excel as well. When I do training for all the participants, some of them, when they open Excel, right, when they open this exercise file, they will see on the right side here, if they want to allow ChatGPT for Excel. So they can just click on agree, then they can start using their ChatGPT for Excel. But in cases whereby the pop-up is not there, right, you can't see if you want to accept, right, agree with ChatGPT for Excel or not, you can actually opt for add-ins, right? So if it's not popping up for you, what you can do is you can go to your home tab over here, right? So let me bring my magnifier for a bit. Okay. So we can just go to home tab, and then on the right side here, just beside your analyze data, you can see add-ins ribbon. You can press on the add-ins button here, right? So when you click on add-ins, here you can just type whatever you want. So search add-in. So here there's a lot, right? You can do ChatGPT for Excel. You have your autopilot, right? You have your Python for Excel. So there's a lot here. So these are external link, right? So you can add in into your Excel. So this is the second option. Number one, pop-up is readily available. Just press agree. Number two, if ChatGPT for Excel does not appear, you can just click on add-ins, right? So here, when you find the one that you want, you can just click on add, okay? Right, so for ChatGPT in Excel, right, when you have that, number one, you need to understand it is free, but only for, I believe it was about 100 something, 150 to 200 prompt that is available for free for you, okay? So if you have used all of your free prompt, you will need to start paying for the ChatGPT for Excel. Okay, so just to let you know out there lah, kan, tak ada nak kata, I thought it's free but you have to pay. So the prompt is only free for the first few hundreds only. So like me, I use it almost on a daily basis. So my free prompt memang dah habis, it's already finished. So now I have started to subscribe inside ChatGPT for Excel. Okay. Now, if you can see down here, we have several different worksheets, right? So we're going to cover a few formulas for ChatGPT for Excel. So when you insert ChatGPT for Excel, the how we use ChatGPT in Excel is we are going to use formula. For an example, equal to AI.ASK, right? Equal to AI.TABLE, equal to AI.EXTRACT. So it's going to be in the form of formula. So for the first one, I would like to walk you through AI.ASK, right? One of the formula from ChatGPT for Excel. We are going to ask for key insight, right? Okay. So if you look at my data here, I have a data from cell A3 until F31. My data consists of the column country, resort name, number of days, travel method, price, and also holiday ID. So assuming we have a data from a travel agency, right? Let's say I am working in the travel agency and now we are, kita dah masuk June, right? So half of the year is almost finished. So my boss would like me to present, right? What are some of the key insight from the data that we receive from half of the year, right? Like what tour did we give to our customers, what travel arrangement that we made. So we have all of this data from cell A3 to F31. So let's say it was quite new, right? Your boss, maybe you have to join the meeting ad hoc, so you don't have the time to do the analysis one by one per se. You can actually use AI.ASK to ask for key insight. So for an example here, I have asked key insight from the travel data, right? So they have highlighted 3 important points here. For an example, travel methods, they have mentioned the majority of trips are taken by plane, right? With only a few trips using train or coach. This indicates a preferences for air travel, especially for longer distance. So these are some of the key insight that we can mention inside our meeting, right? So shortly, I'll show you how to use AI.ASK. Now let's go through some of the key insight that is provided by ChatGPT. Second, price range. So ChatGPT mentioned here, prices vary significantly, with the cheapest trip being to Bognor, England for $12 and the most expensive being to Santiago, Chile for 1259. This suggests a wide range of travel budgets among the destination. And finally, they also give some insight on the duration of trips. The number of days for trips varies from 1 day for Bognor to 32 days Great Barrier Reef. So meaning there are some of the customers who spend about a month in Australia, right? Particularly at the Great Barrier Reef. Most trips seem to be between 3 to 21 days. So this is a very nice insight. Now you roughly know your customers are looking into 3 to 21 days, right? Maybe a short weekend getaway up to 3 weeks vacation, right? Indicating a mix of short and also long vacations. So these are some of the key insights. Now looking at the formula, right? So when I double click here, you can see the formula that I use is equal to AI.ASK, right? I put a prompt over here. So similar like how you use a ChatGPT through website, you need to tell Excel, right? The ChatGPT in Excel on what do you wish to know. So here I put the word extract key insights from this data. And here at the back, if you notice, I highlighted cell A3 to F31. So I highlight the whole set of data, right? You need to let Excel know. You nak analyze bahagian mana, which part, right? So that is very important to highlight only the relevant data. Don't highlight those with empty spaces as well. Only highlight the relevant data. So when I didn't specify how many key insight I want, right? So here they provided me with 3, okay? Right. Now, assuming here, okay, I want to do at the bottom, I want to specify, I want 5 key insights, right? So how you do it is, okay, let me zoom in a little bit. So here you can start with equal to AI.ASK, right? You can see the blue here, AI.ASK. I'm going to double click over there. And then above your column A, you can see FX, right? Insert function up here. So there are two things that they've asked or AI asked. Number one, you can see in bold is prompt. Prompt meaning what do you want ChatGPT to do? So here I'm going to put in, right? Extract 5 key insights from this data. As simple as that, right? And then for the range, now you need to highlight the relevant data. So here, I'm going to highlight my cell A3 to F31, only the relevant data. And now once we have the prompt, once we have the range, let's proceed to press OK. So now dia tulis busy kan, kita tunggu sekejap, we wait for a moment. They are busy, analyzing the data. So you can wait for a while, you can, do other tasks at the moment. So now they provided already quite short, within just few seconds. So now it's to the back, right? So dia memang memanjang to the right side, it's longer over there. So what I'm going to do here is to ensure that I have the visibility to see all, I'm going to highlight several cells. Okay, I highlight column A sampai column F, bawah macam ni lah. Okay, I highlight this portion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on merge and then I'm going to click on wrap text. So that will give me better visibility. So here I'm going to expand the rows at the moment. Okay, so now I can see number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So let's have a look what do they provide us with. Okay, so travel method preferences, so far ni sama macam tadi, is similar like earlier. They have concluded that majority of trips are taken by plane, but only few are using train or coach. Coach refer to bus lah. So this indicate a strong preferences for air travel. Number 2, price range variation. So this one similar to the one that we see up there when we just mentioned extract key insights, right? So this one is giving comment about the cheapest one being a trip to Bognor, $12, and then most expensive is to Santiago, Chile. Duration of trips is also the same as per earlier, right? The shortest one is 1 day trip, right? Day trip to Bognor, England, as long as 32 days to Great Barrier Reef, Australia. Now, number 4 and 5 is quite interesting, right? They provide more insights here. Popular destination, they've given comment that Spain appears multiple times in the data with various cities. Example, Barcelona, Seville, Malaga, indicating it is a popular travel destination for tourists, particularly for those traveling by plane. So you can tell your boss, Spain looks like a very popular city, right? Should we give promotion, right, to customers, right? Because I think we want to chase after quantity, right? So maybe we can offer if they have 5 group or more, 4 people in 1 group or more, we can provide them discount. And if Spain appears to be some of the more popular site, would you like to expand the city, right? Maybe right now you cover hanya Barcelona, Seville, Malaga, right? So the company can plan whether they want to expand it, right, to include Madrid, right, to include other cities within Spain. And the last one, diverse geographic spread. The data includes a diverse range of countries from different continents, such as Australia, okay, showcasing a global interest in travel. So these are some of the example of key insight. So the first usage of AI.ASK is it is recommended for you to find any key insight. So you can put any prompt, you nak extract 5 ke, 3 ke, 10 ke, right? Maybe you want to focus on country, up to you. And remember the last part is, okay, here for range, make sure you highlight the relevant data that you would like to perform your analysis. Okay, so that is the first usage of AI.ASK. Now, for the second one, AI.ASK can also be used to get some ideas for content, right? Okay, so over here, for an example, okay, kita ada letak some question here. So I just put a question, create video script, right, for explanation of Selangor state policy regarding education. First one ni dia formal sedikit, right? Okay, so let's just go through what are some of the suggestion. So kita nak buat video script. So sometimes we just want, maybe we are in charge, right, to create a new video, right, for the Selangor state to highlight the policy, to highlight the education policy. So here what I did was, I used AI.ASK, right? And then I just straight away click on my cell B1 where we have the prompt. So what you notice here is, what is the differences between we use AI.ASK for asking ideas for content, and when we ask for key insight. So now you can see for prompt, right? Dia keluar dua kan, prompt dengan range. For prompt, you can either type in, okay, inside the box, or you can type in the instruction first, example in cell B1. So later you just tekan dekat cell B1. So you can use both methods, right? So this is just to show you the versatility, right? It's very versatile, it's very subjective. You can either type dalam prompt or you can just type it out there, example in cell B1, then you just click on cell B1. And then range over here is not a must, yeah, because when you open the AI.ASK punya box, you can see only prompt is in bold color, meaning prompt, like it or not, nak tak nak, you can put something in there, right? But range, not necessarily. Tadi, because we want to find key insights from the data, then yes, we are using the range. But now, when we want to ask for content, we don't really have any range of data. We just want to ask some opinion from AI. Therefore, we only use prompt, okay? So if you look over here, they provide some video script suggestion. Opening shot of Selangor state flag waving in the wind. So you pun ada idea, okay, this is how I shoot my video, right? So they even provide some script for the narrator, right? So the narrator would say something like, welcome to Selangor, right? A state in Malaysia known for its commitment to education and development. So here they even share, right? Cut to footage of bustling schools and students engaged in learning activities. Then you can see the suggestion of the script on what the narrator can say, right? And so on. So cut to interview with a government official, right? Cut to footage of teachers and students in classroom. So macam you guna ChatGPT lah kan, suggest me 4 days, 3 nights trip to Langkawi example. But this time kita guna dalam Excel, okay? Now let's say I change B1, okay? I put here create video script, okay? Maybe I put here to promote Malaysia cuisine to the world, right? So I changed it a little bit. Tadi terlalu formal. So now I'm making it a little bit fun, right? I've put here, create video script to promote Malaysia cuisine to the world. So now this one tak tukar lagi. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to double click back on AI.ASK B1 and then I'm going to press enter. So this is another thing that you learn. Bila you terus tukar up here dekat B1, not necessarily dia akan terus update. You kena prompt, right? You kena let Excel, ChatGPT knows, okay, now you need to follow the new instruction. So you just re-press enter on the formula. Sekarang dia tengah busy. I rasa dia pening. Malaysia too many nice food. They don't know which one to highlight, right? So let's give it a moment. So later, shortly, we can see the script. Okay, there you go. Right, so here, opening scene, aerial view of Malaysia's vibrant cities and lush landscape. Welcome to Malaysia, a land of diverse culture, right? Culinary paradise. Okay, so here they mention from spicy flavors to savory delights of Chinese and Indian cuisine. So here they suggest untuk letak nasi lemak lah. Scene transition to a chef preparing nasi lemak, right? Cut to a family enjoying nasi lemak together. Okay, so apa lagi ada tadi? So we have, if I repress enter, right? I want to see, is it sampai nasi lemak je ke? Okay, what else do they suggest over here? Right, second, they also suggested satay. Right, they also suggested satay over here. That's food number 2. And then what else do they have here? Right, they also want to showcases the street food. And number 3, you can see they are trying to promote roti canai. So these are some of the suggestions that you can see, right, for AI.ASK content. Right, so we are done with AI.ASK, right? Number 1 suggestion is to use for key insight. Number 2, we can use for content. So if you can give me around 1 minute, let me just read a question that we have here. Right, so we have a question from Felix. What laptop hardware should I use if I want to use analyze data or ChatGPT in Excel? Is there a hardware minimum? For example, must it be able to support Microsoft Copilot or be an AI-enabled PC? Okay, so just to answer your question, Felix, right? It does not matter what laptop you use, right? Of course, recommended if you can use like right now, I'm using Intel Core i3. All right, you mentioned here iCore 3 over here, so I'm using iCore 3. So to allow you to use ChatGPT or AI, right, analyze data or ChatGPT in Excel, it does not refer to what laptop hardware that you use. It depends on what Excel license that you use, right? So you can use any available laptops that support your work, right? But what's important is you need to have a suitable Excel license. So as I mentioned earlier, kalau Excel ChatGPT, right, you need to have license at least year 2016, right? 2016 and above, you would have access to Excel ChatGPT, which is what we are covering right now, okay? And then if you want to go through for analyze data earlier, that one is quite recent. So at the moment, it's only available for your license Microsoft 365. So my advice is if you want both ChatGPT in Excel and also analyze data, it's best if you have your 365, if you have the capability to have that license. If not, if you want only ChatGPT for Excel, it's already sufficient if you have license 2016 onwards. Okay, so I hope that answer your question. Okay, Felix? Okay. So if you do have any other question, you can let me know inside the chat box. At the meantime, allow me to go to the next AI features, yeah? Okay, right. So let me hide floating meeting here. Now, second ChatGPT in Excel is I want to cover AI table, right? So as per the name of the formula, AI table is when you want to extract table from the outside. So if I look over here, my formula is equal to AI.table. I want to know the population in Malaysia by states using DOSM website. So DOSM refers to Department of Statistics Malaysia, yeah? Right? So I'm not only wanting the population in Malaysia by states, but I specifically put here from the DOSM website. So when I put it there, what I've obtained over here is, okay, kejap dia busy sebab tadi I repress enter. So just now I remember we can see state, right? So state kita ada all 14 ke, okay, ada 16 lah. Okay, dia pecahkan wilayah to KL, Putrajaya, Labuan. I can see the population, but if you look over here, it's updated up to 2020 saja. So maybe inside the Department of Statistics Malaysia, the latest data that they have received is year 2020, right? I believe last year it was quite popular, right? They asked all of the citizens, all of the Malaysians to fill in some form, right? So they can repopulate the data again, right? Okay. So this is AI table, right? You can try to extract. Let's say I want to change over here, right? I want to change the prompt. I want to put here, let's say AI table, breakdown of a number of students, okay? Maybe I put here number of students in number of students at public universities in Malaysia, right? So let's change the prompt for a little bit. Number of students at public universities in Malaysia. Enter. Let's see what's the result that we can get over here. Right, so here we can see university name, right? Example, UKM, UPM, USM, UTM, UMS Sarawak, UMS Sabah, University Tun Hussein On Malaysia, UIA, and UITM lah. So you can see the number of students, and apparently the data that we have here is up to year 2022 only. Okay. So what you notice here is when you use ChatGPT in Excel, you don't have that two-way communication with ChatGPT. Betul tak, right? So when you use browser, Mozilla or Google Chrome, right, you can ask back, how about this, right? You can have that two-way conversation. But if you notice, dalam Excel is quite, I would say, one way lah, right? You ask the question, then they prompt, right? That's all, okay? But it helps you to straight away get the data into your Excel. So this is an example of AI table. Similarly, when you use the AI table here, right, you can just put the prompt, right? Kalau you ada header ataupun you ada the specific source, right, you can put lah. But since header and source, it's not bold, right? So it's not actually required. You only need to put the prompt, okay? Right, so that is for AI table. Now, for number 3, I want to go through AI extract. Okay. Example here, we have a set of data in the form of name. Okay. Example, Helen Miller. We have the company that she is currently working at, IBM, and the resident, the country residence lah. Okay. Residence country here, Germany. So we got name, comma, company, comma, country. Right. Let's say your task is you only need to extract the name of the country, whereby it should be Germany, France, and also United States, right? So if someone who is use in using Excel, right? So they would know how to extract the data inside column C is they may use text to column, right? So text to column here, it allows you to separatekan your data, right? So later you akan dapat one column name, one column company's name, one column country residence, okay? So when we talk about text to column, the delimiter, right? The character that separates between name, company and also country is comma, perasan tak, right? Helen Miller, comma. IBM, comma, Germany. So the thing, the character that separates three of them is the comma. So if you use text to column, kita boleh guna delimited lah, right? And the character, the delimiters is comma. But for someone who doesn't even know, right, the existence of text to column, you would like to ask help from ChatGPT, from AI. So here you can actually use AI extract. So what I do here is very simple, right? I just use the formula equal to AI.extract, right? So here under the value, I've put in B2. Why? Because my data is inside cell B2. And then extract, what do you want? Is it the country? Is it the company? Is it the name, right? So when I put a value B2, extract country, right? So here, and then since this is a formula, I can just double click at the bottom. So here they automatically help me to extract the name of the country, Germany for Helen Miller, France for Tom Cruise, and United States for Linda Marco. Okay, so that is how AI extract words. They help you to extract certain portion of your data. Now, let me change the prompt a little bit. Value, still the same, B2. Now, I want to extract full name, right? I'll just put there full name, press OK. Right, so let's give it a moment. Now it's currently busy trying to extract. So this is correct. We managed to get Helen Miller, Tom Cruise, and also Linda Marco. Okay, right. So let's say I want to extract the gender. Let's say kita tak ada gender. Let us see whether AI has the capability or not. So kita tengok if the result is 0 or they will be able to extract what is the gender. Okay, so I'm just going to put gender here. Okay, let's try and test our theory whether they can identify that or not. Okay, so value B2, extract, gender, press OK. Not found, yeah? So when it's not part of the data, they won't be able to extract the data. Okay, right. So that is number 3, AI extract. Number 1, AI.ASK, we can use for key insight and content. Number 2, AI.TABLE, we can extract table from online resources. We just put in the prompt. And number 3 is AI extract. Now, under others here, I want to cover the last 2 AI formulas. The first one is AI translate, right? And then the last one is what we call as AI format. Okay. So what I have here is I have 3 different columns, right? I have value, I have language, okay, and then I also have result. Now, assuming value, I change this word. Let's say I cakap dekat sini, I put here hello, I put here chicken, okay, and then the third word, let's say I put here water, and number 4, I put there, let's say we have cake, right? Now, for language, right, let's say we put here Malay, right? You can see result high. Kan? Chicken, we put here, let's say French. You can see poulet, right? Kalau the actual, if the actual, I believe the actual, the actual spelling should be poulet with T, eh? Okay, all right. And then water, let's say we want what language? Let's say I want to put over here Chinese, right? So some of you who can read, maybe you can double confirm with me whether water betul ke tak, right? Dia punya the writing over there. And then cake, let's say I want to use Indonesian, okay? Kueh, right? So you can have value language results. So sometimes in your Excel, right? Previously, when I work in audit, I had to translate the invoices, right? We receive invoices from French because last time I was auditing oil and gas companies. So they deal a lot with the Europe region, right? Within, I have to translate a lot of Arabic invoices, a lot of French invoices. So this could be something very useful to you, right? You can just put in the value, right? Just put in the language, then you can see straight away the result. Okay, all right. So this is for AI translate. You can translate different language from one language to another language. And then finally here, we have what we call as AI format, right? So if you look inside my cell A11, okay, so if you look inside our cell A11 over here, let me zoom in for a little bit. Bayangkan, okay, imagine the data that you have, all of the sentences is sticking like this, right? My name is Lily without any space, right? The case of the word is also all over the place. Everything is all in lowercase, right? Huruf kecil. So how do we make sure that this data that is very messy, we are able to correct it straight away, right? So here inside A12, I'm giving a suggestion here. You can use the formula AI.format. So what I did is I'm using AI.format, okay? And then the value, of course, we click back to our cell A11 that you see the messy data. My name is Lily in lowercase, everything is sticking to each other. And then format, you can give like a prompt, right? So here what I did was I just put the prompt here, right in a correct sentence. So when I press OK, right? This helps a lot, right? They even put here, my name is Lily. You have space in between the words. They even have the dot at the end, right? And then the letter M and the name Lily also have capital letters. So this saves a lot of my work, right? I don't need to put space manually one by one. I don't need to change it to sentence case. Everything is done perfectly here through AI format, right? So the prompt is write in the correct sentence, okay? So what we did earlier is, okay, we've covered two different AI portion in your Excel. Number one, we've gone through analyze data, right? So you can see example from the cookie data earlier. You can see examples of pivot table, pivot chart. You can even ask some question, right, based on the data that you have. So just to remind everybody, that is only available for license 365. And then for ChatGPT in Excel, it's available for license 2016 onwards, right? So these are this information all is obtained from the Microsoft website, yeah? So for ChatGPT in Excel, what we've covered are few different formulas, right? We've gone through AI.ASK, we've gone through AI.TABLE, we've gone through AI.EXTRACT, we've gone through AI.TRANSLATE, and we've gone through AI format. So in total, we've covered 5 different AI formula by using ChatGPT in Excel, okay? So that is all of my presentation for today. So now, if you may, I would just like to see if we have any question over here. Okay, Daniel help me to check, all right? Correct for water. So for Muhammad Nazruf, yes, you can translate sentences. So kita letak terus lah. Okay, so kita try by example straight away. So let's say I put here, hello. Okay, I put here, my name is Adila. Okay, let's try and see on the right side. Hello, nama saya Adila. So bolehlah sentences also can. So going back to my example earlier, let's say dalam invoice you ada all those description, right? You can just straight away put it inside, right? So it applies to sentences as well. Okay, right. Okay, Felix, I have a question. Are the examples of AI-enabled function you are showing all there is? Are there any full function list that can be used with the AI command? AI.ASK, AI.TABLE. So we have we've covered. So actually, if you open your ChatGPT for Excel here, right, they have some suggestion as well, right? They even provide you some guidelines. Yeah, if you look on the right side here, how to use. Okay, AI.ASK, right? AI function. They have even some tips and so on. So you can also go through all of that as well. Okay. So, but here I'm only focusing on 5 because these are some of the most commonly used AI formula inside Excel. Okay, for free version, okay, so Gunabalan have a question here. For free version of ChatGPT for Excel add-ins, is there a limitation for data set size, right? Example, 1,000 rows. Do they provide the list of built-in AI function available in these add-ins? Okay, so at the moment for data size, right, I haven't come across any limitation, right? Usually when it comes to the free version, right, it goes by prompt, not by the data size. So let's say kalau your free version allows you 100 prompt, then you can use 100 prompt regardless of the data set size, but it must be inside the same worksheet lah, okay? And then second, do they provide the list of built-in functions? So as I mentioned earlier, you can also look on the right side panel here, right? So you can see what are some of the available, right? So example here, you either AI translate, AI format, you can just click on the button to the left or to the right side, right? If you want to see all of the built-in function. If not, okay, what you can do guna balan contoh I letak kat sini equal to AI dot. So these are all that is available. AI.ASK, AI choice, AI.EXTRACT, AI fill. So whenever you type equal to AI dot, they will help to list down all of the built-in function that is available for you. Okay, all right, good. So any more question? Kalau tak ada, I'll pass the session back to Adib. Right, at the meantime, let's wait if you have any further question. Okay. All right, so for Nur Fatiha, share the Excel after class. Let me check with Excel Academy because you will be given the recording, of course, through YouTube, but I'll discuss with them later if I can share the Excel as well. Okay, so look out for that announcement. For Felix, is there any difference between Excel, ChatGPT, and Copilot? Okay, so first, both ChatGPT and Copilot, you will be using it inside your Excel. The only difference is the different company of AI. Right? For now, for AI, we have a lot. ChatGPT, kita ada Gemini, we have Julius, we have Copilot, right? We have a lot of different AI. So of course, when you're using ChatGPT and Copilot, there are some differences. Depends on, let's say for ChatGPT, these are the formulas that you can see, AI.ASK, AI choice, and so on. So Copilot may have their very own formula on how you can apply the AI. For Daniel, where can I find the link for this recording? Okay, so maybe I can pass back the session to Excel Academy, Adib. So maybe you can share further on how they can find the link for this recording. Okay, so let me stop share for a while. Right, let's get the experts to come in. Right, thank you.
All right, let me share my screen first. All right. So thank you so much, Miss Adila, for the excellent presentation. There's a lot of input and knowledge gain for the presentation. Right. Before we go into the recording session, for those who have registered through the NTW portal, your attendance have been recorded and the status will be marked as completed within 24 hours. In the meantime, please do not withdraw your applications to generate your certification. Please do complete the TEE assessment. Alright, for the video recording of this session, it will be available on our YouTube channel, Excel Academy Malaysia, within 24 hours. Alright, I think that's basically it. Now, let me inform you guys about our public training session. If any of you interested to enroll into the public class, please feel free to contact us. We have Microsoft training, Microsoft Excel basic level until advanced level, integrated with AI tools. We have Microsoft Excel for HR professionals, Microsoft Power BI with AI tool, data analysis and visual reporting. We have digital marketing training, digital marketing masterclass, digital marketing professional. We also have SEO and SCM, social media marketing. A new course from our site, TikTok marketing, where to start and what to avoid. It is on July. We have AI tools training, content creation and marketing, AI tools for office productivity, creative tool training, CapCut for video marketing, Canva AI bootcamp. Last but not least, human resources training, understanding the Employment Act 1955 and latest amendment. I think that's basically it. Thank you all for your participation and have a great day. Once again, thank you so much, Miss Adila.
All right, thank you so much, everybody. Have a nice day.